Inspect and preparation for my Diamond Peak tent. I just bought this to replace my metal falls. Not really replace it, actually as a backup. It's got an easy setup. Here's the front, here's the back. The back actually has that. Also, I'm going to apply, if it passes my test, Scotchgard. This is sun and water shield, so this should be fun. Let's do the initial inspection of the tent. I haven't opened this yet at all, as you can definitely. I like that they have the directions like right in there, because this is literally a carbon copy of the Meadow Falls tent. I don't think I'm going to have much trouble putting it together. Let's get a knife. How about this side? It's almost like an unboxing too. We could call it a tent unboxing because this is tent unboxing. Oh, one word to the wise about Coleman tents. They always come with this nice little expansion thing. If you're careful rolling your tent, don't slice that thing open thinking that you need that, because you don't. Feels like a nice tent, and it looks a lot the same as my other one did. Make sure we have all the parts to it, and then I love the tie strings. These are nice. They'll stand out better than my old ones did. I lost them promptly, and this is a nice long for wrapping the tent. This can go into there. I would prefer something that's a brighter color though. These will get lost easily, just like my old ones did. They're easy to tie and they'll last for as long as I have them. Let's take it and unroll it. It has just pretty much everything the same as my other tent. Like I said, Diamond Peak, we're giving it a try. 1 year limited warranty. I was told from Big 5 that as long as I own this tent that I could bring it back to Big 5. We'll find out. Although I've never had, if you take good care of a tent, you're not going to have any trouble. You shouldn't. Let's check out the poles. Here's our poles. There should be 3 of them in here. 2 cross members and 1 for the fly for the top. I use this for pushing down stakes. You can use a rock. You can use, I actually have a piece of plastic that I cut out of one of my kayaks that I use when I was cutting a circular handhold. These stakes don't look too bad. They actually feel a little heavier weight than the ones that you usually get. All this goes back in the bag. Time to set it up. First we hunt for the, you notice I put down a ground cloth or footprint before doing that. I use just actually a beach towel, because what I have for a beach towel works quite well. Beach blanket, I'm sorry. Get one corner down. You don't need to put the stake all the way in initially, because you want to find out exactly where everything's going to go. Like this one goes back a little bit more. Staking out the tent is very important. And when you take down a tent, you want to unstake it after you've taken it down. I've made that mistake before. I've made just about every mistake you can make as far as camping goes. That's why Uncle Bill knows about camping. These will save your hands a lot of grief. You don't need this exactly really super taut, because it actually will get a little bit more taut as the poles go in. Looks like I'm going to have lots of ventilation. I wonder, we'll find out if this has the same characteristic problem with the fly as my Meadow Falls tent does. This is the ones for the fly. Breakout ones that, all right. Like I said, I've had just about every mistake you can have with tents. And haste makes waste. I twisted up my poles, but not too awful bad. Two ways to do this. You can have the pole all the way first and then put it in, or you can put the pole together while you're fishing it through. My habit is to put it together while I'm fishing it through. And I just leave it down like that. Let's get the other one going here. Then we'll inspect the seams. We will, all right, this one just wants to go together all by itself. Wow, it was anxious. Now with fiberglass poles, long fiberglass or metal, any kind of tent pole, last thing you want to do is force anything with the pole. When you put it up, you just go nice and carefully. It's important to have somebody help you while you're putting up a tent most of the time. A four-man tent, you can pretty much do most four-man tents all by yourself, just with a little bit of practice and being careful. At the corners, we have little spots that hold in the poles. We take the pole that is on top, and that's the first one. This is the least stable part of the operation here. This is where you pray that you don't break one of your tent poles, because it's very easy to do. Clip it in on the other side too. See how this bow is here? The clip will help relieve some of the stress on that pole and keep it from breaking, because that's the last thing you want, is to have a broken tent pole. We'll go on this side because this is the one sticking out more. Now time to the back of the tent. You notice I didn't clip it down because I wouldn't be able to push this pole in if I clipped it prior to putting it in all the way. That clip could actually get in the way. You want to make sure your seams don't catch on the, what are they called? These couplings. You want to make sure your seams don't catch on it. Now you inspect your tent, look at it, say, hey, this nice tent looks good. Oh, this even has a little spot in the back where I can have extra ventilation, which my old tent did not. Do a cursory check on the door here, because you want to check things as it comes along. Yes, this door looks like it is. When that fly goes on there, it might be a little difficult getting this thing around. With these nylon zippers, you always want to be a little careful with the tent. Yay, I didn't break a pole yet. Actually, I've never broken a tent pole, so let's not have today be the first day. Little interesting the way they have the fly here. Now we look for the front. The front is the lighter portion here. This is the channel for the pole. We put the pole and the fly on with the pole first. Although some people do it second, it doesn't really matter. Just as long as you can get the fly over the top of the tent, that's what really matters. This is one of the spots where having another person help you would be kind of nice, but when you go camping a lot by yourself, you get used to pitching tents by yourself. There's Velcro straps on the fly, which just go, wow. Nope, not like that. Oh, great. Oh, there we go. Kind of sloppy cut, but so far not too bad. I'm not seeing any ripped seams, so far the inspection is passing. One more Velcro here. Now time to go to the back part of the tent. Method to my madness. We'll leave this set up overnight. Might even come out and go to bed in it. We'll find out. There's little plastic hooks on the end of your fly and a nylon strap. All you have to do is take this little hook and put it into the ring that's at each corner, and your fly will be on. Whoa, this fly is tight. Tight, tight, tight. Why are you... Oh, maybe because this thing isn't up yet. Maybe it'll be less tight if I go like that. Yes. Like I said, you don't want to force anything, and it also helps that I didn't Velcro it below the snap, so it goes below the snap, not above the snap. Not beyond having mistakes, and not beyond promptly admitting them. I don't know everything about camping, but I do know a lot. And one thing I know is that the more you say you know, the more you find that you don't. There's this, I think we got one more after this. It'll be interesting to see how this works with the front of the tent. Velcro just feels so much different than my other. My Meadow Falls tent is about 10 or 15 years old. Looks exactly the same as this one, except it says Meadow Falls down here. Wow, nice doorway. This is really held out there, and it looks like it gives a little bit more. And with luck, this zipper should not... It does zip a lot easier than my Meadow Falls does. Yay! Now I'm gonna stake the rest of the tent out so that we can use up all of these stakes. We don't necessarily need them all, but it's good to make sure that everything is all in order. The better guide out your tent is, the better it'll hold up in a rainstorm while tenting. Let's see, I haven't done one of these type of cleats in a long time. Do they go like this? I think it does. Yeah, that looks more. All right, push this in. Oh yeah, not bad. One thing you can do with your stakes is take your stakes and get some pink contractor thread and just tie it off to each one of your stakes. That way when you're looking for them in the ground, you can identify them quicker and easier. I probably should have looked at the directions, but I've done this tent so many times, the other version, that I was just confident enough that I didn't really worry about it. Pretty much knew, except for these little, I haven't had these little plastic things for a long time, so they always give me a little bit of a surprise as far as how to get them taut. 2 more, 3 more. I think we have some extra stakes, which is nice. Maybe not. I didn't guy out the sides yet. The better guyed out your tent is, the better the ventilation will also be on your tent. I'm getting there. I probably have about 4 more minutes to pitch this. So if you want to go get a quick coffee, you can do that. Just kidding. I'll keep you entertained. Coleman is such a great company. They stand behind their product. They take these things. Now, one thing that they will say is, you know, stands up to 40, 50 mile an hour winds. That's good, but let's hope that your stakes will stand up to 40, 50 mile an hour winds, because I've actually seen tents get, you know, pulled out of the ground. And I was tenting in 2019 with a small bivvy tent, and unfortunately it was all rock. I mean solid rock. There was like maybe 3 inches of dirt and a lot of rain. It was at the Daughters of American Revolution campground, and my stakes didn't hold very well. And I had those fancy triangular stakes. It was because the ground was basically mud and not much to hold into. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm liking this new tent. The black, though, I'd prefer green. I thought it was green when I looked at it in the pictures, but black will work. The only problem is this is Southern California, so black will get nice and toasty during the day, unfortunately. I do like this back part with I'll bring you around after I'm done pitching it up, and then we will do some waterproofing. Just a light coat, because it shouldn't need any, actually. We have 2 more, and we'll have 1 extra stake. Yay! Unboxing, setting up, fun. So as soon as you get a tent, you really should set it up, depending on what the take back is on the store. If you order it online, set it up the day you get it. If you get it from a retail store, a lot of times, like Big 5, they will let you return anytime, is what I got told from the sales girl. But then again, it's only as good as it is, you know, if she claims it. And I just realized I probably will end up using all of the stakes. If I open up the vent in the back, which I do intend to do, that will help keep the ventilation going through the tent. use the bottom loop on these cleats, not the top loop. Or brakes, or whatever they're called. I do have a tendency to name pieces of camp gear different names than what they were originally intended, and I apologize for that in advance. Yep, we do have one extra thing back here for bringing this out a little bit. Now we've used them all up. There's our tent pitch. The way you put this on is the same way you do spray paint, basically. Just nice light coat. Let's read the directions real quick. It says coverage can vary from about 60 square feet, light nylon, to 20 square feet for heavy fabrics. Let's see, we have 10 by 8 by 10, 56 square feet. So let's see, do we have enough for one application here? How many square feet did they say? Let's see, 60 square, about just enough. This kind of looks like it might be the foam type. Nope. And you can see I'm not putting a whole lot down there. One reason is it's very windy, so I'm wasting a lot of it. And the other reason is it doesn't really need a whole lot. When you're on the downwind side, make sure not to breathe heavily. Also, you want to be light coating with this, because what'll happen is you'll get, what would we call them? Trace marks, or whatever you want to call it, coming around. I should bring you inside too. Isn't that nice? Look at that. Now this vent, this back vent, that's an extra feature. That was not on my prior tent. Now I did have this trouble on my last application on my other tent too. You see how it just beads up? That's basically the tent doing its job and being waterproof. Now let's go inside. Hello, we're welcome for business. Look at that, that doesn't even pull on the threads, which is nice. With my old tent, when you have that fly on, you have a lot of extra pressure. That said, it's gonna make a liar out of me, and I won't be able to do this with one hand. Not quite as easy as my Alps tent. Oh, good, we even have two. Didn't used to have two, but we have two storage things. Now it looks a lot smaller on the inside than my tent does. A little bit of a more angled, but this is, now if you have a huge air mattress, you need to watch out with this type of a tent, because it really won't fit much more than a twin, even though they'll advertise them as fitting a queen, and you can fit a queen in here. The thing with the tent, which is deceptive, is that the width of the tent is actually longer than the depth of the tent. So my recommendation is to sleep one person in here, take the twin mattress. I put mine along the back edge. Right here, I put a storage bin, which also serves as a table. And there you have it. We waterproofed, we inspected, and we put up our new Diamond Peak tent. Yay! And there's our camera rig and everything. Lots of fun. Thank you very much for joining me for my tent pitch. Love you guys. Bye-bye.